You're right guys, it's CapgunTom here, and today I'm going into the first round of the Silver Tournament. Again, like the other day, I am going to be doing a live comm with my Silver 5 at the back Pro League team. I won't say too much more as before. I don't want to reveal the whole thing sort of before I actually do a squad builder on it, because it is probably the best team I have ever used. So for that you'll just have to wait, but for now you're just going to have settle with me talking, because after the other day I thought that the video that I put up, I really enjoyed making it, and you guys actually were really good. You say it has had some really good, constructive criticism, a lot of likes and good feedback really, which I haven't been seeing all that often. So really thank you for that. That's amazing. It really has inspired me to actually start doing YouTube properly again, because obviously I took like 5 or 6 days off without making any videos at all, which is not like me at all, because as you know I do like to get a video, if not 2, up a day. So on we go. What am I going to talk about today? Today I thought that I'd talk about something that I used to do before I did YouTube. We all have hobbies and stuff. A lot of people for that will be sports and stuff, but for me, obviously I did play sports. I used to play hockey at secondary school when I was in year 11 and 10, I think. I played hockey. That was my main sport. I used to play football as well, obviously, as everyone does when I was young, but unfortunately my team got cut. I mean, if you want me to give you the full story of my sort of footballing career, very short-lived and not very spectacular, I can in another video, but what I wanted to talk about today was something a bit different, and something that I hope you find interesting actually, because not many people have done it, and it might be something that you've always wanted to do, and it's something that you definitely can do if you want to. And what I'm talking about is actually, this is quite funny, because this is the reason I have my name. A lot of people are like, why are you called CapgunTom? What's the reason behind that? Now the reason behind that is because when I was I was about 16, I think 16, I was in a band called Capguns and Coke. Now you're probably still wondering, why would you be called CapgunTom? Now at the time that's just what we did. We just put the part of the name of the band with your name, and that was your sort of like musical name. Ooh, that wasn't too far away. So that's how I got the name CapgunTom. So not the most exciting of stories, as Colibo3 probably trolled all of you in live streams before by telling you that I put a cap gun up my arse and fired it, and that is why I'm called CapgunTom. That's not the real reason, obviously. The real reason is because I was in a band called Capguns and Coke. So now you know. Anyway, this band, what was it about? It was basically a pop punk band, so sort of like punk rock, but not mainstream, sort of more, if any of you have heard of them, Screeching Weasel was one of our massive influences. Also the Ramones, obviously a massive influence for any pop punk band. People like the Queers. There were a few other bands as well. It's been quite a while since I actually got them all out and listened to them, which is really bad, because I do love some of those CDs. I've got an absolutely massive collection of CDs at home, which some of you probably wouldn't even guess about me, because I'm not really the sort of person who talks about music a lot, or slash ever. So really, it's kind of, some of you might be actually surprised by this story. I mean, if you want to go and have a look at us, you can actually, I think our MySpace page is still floating around somewhere. We have CDs. I'm pretty sure my friend, who actually started a record label for the band and a few other bands in the local area, and he basically put all the CDs out for everyone. I think that he'd be very appreciative if you go and buy some. I think if you want me to find the link and stuff, put in the comments section, and I'll go and find it for you, and maybe you can go buy one of our CDs. It's actually not too bad. I mean, you hear a lot of demo CDs, and this was quite good quality. We got a professional recorder to come in and do all of the stuff for us, even though we did end up doing it in our mate's living room. So yeah, this band, we played pop punk. It was pretty cool. Made us like pretty much cool kids at school, which probably wasn't something I would have been otherwise, but yeah, it was a real good time. Oh, I thought I was going to get through then. So yeah, that is basically that, and I want to tell you a couple stories about stuff in the band. The band was made up of me and 3 other members. My friend Matt, our pal James, who we ended up calling Squinty Joe because his eyes are kind of squinty and he can't see all that much. And my friend's little brother Danny Tyndall, he was also in the band. Great drummer, really good. If you're wondering what I played bass guitar, which the reason I played that is because it's the easiest instrument to play and get away with. So that's why I was playing that, because I really am very bad at playing instruments. There were so many times when we were playing shows and stuff that I completely forgot what I was supposed to be playing and just end up standing there and just like, I just don't know what to play. Oh, come on, hit that. Ref. So, yeah, reason I played bass guitar, I just wasn't very good. I mean, you know, I didn't really care about the actual, you know, well, obviously I cared about the music. It was more about, you know, hanging out with my friends, you know, doing something kind of cool and kind of creative, rather than, you know, actually playing music, because I could have been doing anything. I mean, you can see how I've changed my creative outlook now as in YouTube. That's what I do now as, you know, my sort of way of being creative, I guess. Oh, second bicycle kick at the game failed. So yeah, we played quite a few shows in this band, never got paid for it. Obviously the punk scene is one of those ones that's a bit, you know, lacking funds and stuff, so no one would ever pay us. We did go and play quite a few different places. Played in Guildford, our local town, countless times. A couple other local areas quite a few times as well. We ended up playing in Cambridge, so I live in that. The shows we were playing were probably in sort of like Surrey, so to go to Cambridge for us was a massive thing. Played in places like Windsor, played in London a couple of times. So yeah, lots of shows and stuff, which was really all cool. You know, every sort of, you know, hobby has its own scene of people who enjoy doing that and, you know, stick together and talk to each other. So obviously there was a massive, well, not a massive scene, but there were quite a few people in the pop punk scene at the time, and you know, we had quite a few friends. I mean, we actually ended up making friends from other countries as well, just because the music we were playing was kind of niche, so there wasn't that many people doing it. So, oh damn it. Right, where was I? Yeah, the music we were playing was kind of niche, so there wasn't all that many people playing it. So the scene was quite small, but it's quite cool because you got to know everyone, and that did mean that we ended up meeting all the bands from other countries that played similar music to us, which was really cool. There was one band that I used to listen to all the time in particular, in fact two, that played sort of like the Guildford and Surrey area, and those were Random Heroes and Pickled Dick, both terribly named bands. Not that I can talk with Capguns and Coke, but yeah, two bands I absolutely loved at the time. So yeah, we got to met, as I was saying, we met loads of people, was really cool. We met, you know, people who organised events, we met other people in bands, we met people who watched. We ended up having loads of times where we go out and get absolutely smashed while we were playing, just because rather than pay us, they'd give us beer instead, which we weren't complaining about, I won't lie. Not in the slightest were we complaining about that. Blimey, we really need to get in front of this game. So yeah, that's basically it. We really did have a very good time, and I'm going to tell you about probably the biggest story that, you know, ever happened for us. Obviously we had the days of recording, that was a massive step for us, but the biggest thing we probably did was we went on a little European tour. I know it sounds kind of corny because it was like our mates from other bands in other countries set up the little shows for us, you know, 200 or 300 people at each show, and we basically went and toured around Europe. Not really toured around it. We went to Belgium and Holland. Those were the two countries. We obviously drove through France as well. We basically piled all our stuff into this big van, had someone drive us around, which was pretty cool. It was actually a really fun time, even though it was in the middle of winter and it was absolutely freezing. It was actually snowing the day we were in Belgium. Oh, come on. So we went, the first day I think we went to this guy's house. We went to this guy's house, had a really nice meal, met his whole family and stuff like that, so that was pretty cool. Played the show that night. It was a pretty good one as well. I think that there's probably pictures of it on our MySpace page as well. Back when I was in absolute, I was if you didn't know, I'm kind of chunky now. Not really chunky. I'm quite happy with how, you know, I am at the moment, like as in body size. But back then I was quite the tubby kid, really was. And it wasn't until university came around that I actually started working on that. And sorting out the weight issues. I do admit that I need to get back into the gym because ever since I started my job I haven't had time to really do any exercise, which is terrible, and I really need to sort that out. So that's the next thing on my list of things to do, is go and get into shape again. But nonetheless, what was I saying? I was talking about yeah, the pictures on Facebook. So if you go over there and have a look at the pictures, you will see exactly what I'm talking about, how chunky I was, and I'm sure it'll be a good laugh for all of you. Oh, that was a great save. So yeah, this tour around Europe was quite funny actually. There was one story in particular that I think that my friend will probably absolutely, if he sees me, he will absolutely destroy me because he does not want anyone to know this story. But what we did was one night we went out to obviously play this show. There was a bar, we were getting free beer because that's just what happened. He was only about 17 at the time, I think, because he was obviously the youngest member of the band, my mate's brother. So he hadn't had that much experience with drinking, but he ended up getting absolutely wasted, and we went back to this guy's family's house because he was letting us stay there because we needed someone to stay for free while we were there. And well, to cut a long story short, he ended up pissing himself. He was in a sleeping bag, he pissed himself, and it was everywhere, like in the house, all over the floor, and it was just disgusting, absolutely stank. No one realised until later in the day, because what he did was he was so ashamed of what he'd done, was he actually went down the street and hid his pissy trousers in a bush, which I have to admit is not a great place to hide your pissy trousers. Quite like the Imbertiners when he brings a bag full of pooey trousers to the pub. But he went and hid his trousers in a bush down the road, and when we came back later that day, we all found out what he'd done, and apparently someone had seen him put the pissy trousers in a bush because the guy's mum had them and she had washed them and they were on the heater drying. It was so funny. He was absolutely mortified, poor guy. But you know, that's probably a good lesson for him. Don't drink too much and piss your pants, to be honest. I think that's all that goes with that one. So go on, hit that. Oh yeah, cheaty. So yeah, a really fun time, and it's something that I definitely recommend all you guys go and do. It really is a lot of fun. It's sort of like those things that are a bit quirky that not a lot of other people do, that you know, that really, you know, differentiate yourself. It's like a story. I mean, I've just got, you know, 20 minutes worth of conversation to myself out of just talking about stuff I did, and I didn't even scratch the surface. There were so many other things that we did when we were in that band. It was crazy. We just ended up having so much fun, and yeah, really good time. I mean, you know, YouTube is a great outlet as well. If that's something that you want to do, definitely go ahead and try and do it. Don't be disheartened by, you know, maybe not getting subscribers or anything like that, because it doesn't really matter. You should only really be doing it for the fun, and that's what we were doing in that band. That's why I started YouTube, because it was just absolutely, it was a great thing to do. Really loved doing it. Just, you know, meeting people and talking to people in the community that you wouldn't have talked to otherwise. That's what YouTube's all about for me, really. I mean, testament to that is this weekend. Oh, how has he saved that? Yeah, testament to that is this weekend meeting up with you know, Nepenthes and all the lads in London. It really did. Oh, Create twice with the header from the corner. That just epitomises YouTube for me. And it looks like this guy has rage quit, so that means I can shut up. You can like the video, and I will see you all next time.